best crypto asset. Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There's no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best. Okay. It's not like Google and Facebook. It's not like Apple and Amazon. Yeah, we can debate Apple or Amazon. What's better? They both look like tech monopolies to me. They both look pretty good. On the other end, Bitcoin or no. Bitcoin's a crypto asset. This entire idea of like 60% dominance is bullshit, ridiculous, stupid, right? Like, it's stupid. It's not 60% dominant. It's like 96% or 95% dominant, right? And you compare it as a crypto asset to a like kind of proof of work crypto network, right?
I know that you can feel the pulse, and it's crypto's what you want. Look, fast to have in 6 to 12 months, can you imagine? That's just a sign of our passion to have PulseBitcoin be the attraction to switch to crypto. Cause you all know the Pulse got your back from the get-go. 1-to-1 versions of the coin you need. PulseBitcoin runs that deep. You can feel the pulse. You can feel the pulse. I know that you can feel the pulse. 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 I know that you can feel the pulse. And it's crypto's what you want. I know it seems scary, and you've been so wary. And Bitcoin ain't cheap, but let the pulse speak. Gotta thank Gunther for the opportunity to bring you this pulse in your time of need. You can feel the pulse. You can feel the pulse. I know that you can.
Yo, and we're live once again. We're back after a week's break. I apologize for my absence last week. Had some real life issues to attend to. We're joined by Wolverine, the one and only. Thank you for coming, Wolverine. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, and thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We really appreciate this. This community is amazing. We love it. I mean, look at this stuff. I think we had something last time I checked, like 20 something likes, and we haven't even started to stream yet. So big shout out to all you guys, you Bitcoin buyers, you Bitcoin holders, ASIC holders, ASIC miners. We love you. We're doing something revolutionary here. We are looking at what Bitcoin is, and we're kind of breaking it down, and we're kind of just making it better in every way we can. So as always, we want to just cover the news. We want to cover some of the stats, the charts, and we want to talk about conviction in your investments today. So what does that mean? What does that mean, conviction in your investments? What does that mean to you, Wolverine?
Conviction in investments means just like sticking with the investments like long term and not hitting the sell button. So, it's hard for people. So if you've never made a lot of money in crypto, it's hard for people to actually learn how to hold an asset without being tempted to hit that sell button when the price moves up or when the price moves down. Because, when the price is moving down, they're tempted to just like liquidate their losses. And then when the price moves up, they want that 2x or 3x like move. But it's hard to learn real discipline in crypto. And that literally just means accumulation and holding. Obviously, you take profits down the road, but the point is you take them down the road. You don't take them at the beginning of at the inception of an asset. That's the biggest mistake that I've seen people make. And I've seen even my own brothers or sisters that are in crypto, I've seen them lose $250,000 or $500,000 or $1 million because they sold prematurely. And everybody has to learn that painful lesson in crypto.
Yeah, and I think when I talk to people in my real life, and Wolverine and I were talking about half an hour ago, in the green room, and we were kind of discussing onboarding and whatnot. Now, none of this is financial advice. This is just telling you what we're doing with our money and why we do it, why we make decisions we do. And you know, I was in our Telegram group the other night, in the PulseBitcoin Telegram group. And if one of the admins can share the link to that, or anyone can share the link to that in the main chat, that'd be great. I was quite late to the game. I didn't really get into crypto until I remember when. Do you remember the 2017 pump, Wolverine? When the price was at, what was it, 3K? No, I can't remember what it started at in the bottom of that bear market, but then it went up to 17K, didn't it? And I remember.
I think it actually hit almost 20K, 19,891 or something. Yeah.
And I remember, so I kind of started seeing, I used to watch skateboarding videos and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, and it got to the point, I think Bitcoin was at 10K, then it was at 15K. And then I saw everyone and their mother talking about it, you know, in non-crypto spaces. You know, people down the pub were talking about it. It was just, and not knowing the crypto market cycles, I still kind of had a rough idea from traditional finance that maybe it's not a good time for me to buy right now. Sure, I could have bought a 15K and ridden it up to 20 or 19, but I decided to hold off and I waited for that first crash. And I kind of really bought my first Bitcoin in the early 2018 period, around 3K. And I remember I was stuck in that market for a while. And I say stuck because I didn't really understand the cycles, and there was a lot of FUD going around. Well, Bitcoin is dead; it's never coming back and whatnot. And I had a sizable amount. And for me, so let's say I had I'm not going to say raw numbers, but let's say I had 10 Bitcoin. I started to kind of FUD myself out of it, and then I looked for short-term movement, and that bear market only lasted maybe a year or so, but about halfway through, I started to get impatient, started looking for those riskier trades, started experimenting with leverage trading. And what really happened was I wrecked myself. I only kept 30% of my Bitcoin, which I originally had. And then a year later, it was 57K. So I managed to sell the top on 30% of my bag. But one lesson I learned from that was the reasons I bought that Bitcoin and believed in it. I kind of fudded myself out through FOMO of other opportunity, through not seeing the longevity in my investment. So I think we're kind of at that kind of period now in this bear market, and I think people have to try and take the lessons. So one thing I try to say to anyone that's interested in getting into investing in their future wealth for their family, for themselves. You might be a single man, you might be an 80-year-old man with only 5 years to live. So your investment portfolio might be very different to someone who's 25, who's just started a family. So I think one thing, I'm not speaking for Wolverine, but I think you'd agree with me that we always try to encourage a nice balanced overview for your portfolio. You want to try and break down your portfolio into long-term investment, something you're holding for maybe 10 years, or maybe, and then you have medium-term, maybe something you're holding for 5 years, and then stuff that you're maybe holding for 2 years, and then you might have a fun bag. If you're the impatient type, you might have a tiny percent of your portfolio where you just try and do some swing trading, whatever you try and do. But I think what we're trying to say here is to really consider. Sorry, I've gone out of focus there.
Yeah.
Well, there we are. I just been the ether. I was chopping too many bums. So what we're trying to say is, I would say that you look at PulseBitcoin as a medium to long term play. So you kind of look at the success of Bitcoin. Some of us are seeing now the rise in Ethereum. So I think PulseBitcoin being the Bitcoin on Ethereum is a very attractive thing. We're seeing more users come over to Ethereum. We're seeing so much more utility on Ethereum. We're seeing NFTs. We're seeing events. But the problem we have is it can be slightly expensive. So that doesn't really affect you if you get in early and you DCA in. Anything you'd like to say on that, Wolverine?
Well, yeah, I mean, so if you compare, you could also just talk about like the price of Bitcoin versus like PulseBitcoin, right? The price performance, the history. There's still money to be made in Bitcoin, but how much money? How much return on investment do you expect with a very like mature, highly liquid asset? Especially, Bitcoin used to trade below 1 penny. And it went to $69,000. how high can it go from this point forward? That in terms of like X movements, right? In terms of percentage.
So on that point, Wolverine, I think to back you up here, let's slow down a second. So this is the historical Bitcoin chart, right? And let's go way back here, right? So the very launch of Bitcoin, what do we see over here? We see an 83% sell-off. Sorry, an 89% sell-off there when Bitcoin was first launched. And it's funny because what do we see here with oh, sorry, it's not loading. There we are. It's this scam wick has made it very hard for us to load up this PulseBitcoin chart. But what do we see here? We see a sell-off with PulseBitcoin. We've had a 76% sell-off. And as I say, keep things in context. Let's look at when Bitcoin first launched. We do have that even a heavier sell-off, 89%. But I think the reason we haven't dipped that low, and we might, but I don't think we will, is because we have a more educated market now. Our participants know that at the time, if you bought that Bitcoin when it first started, you had no idea if it was going to catch on.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the same. I think the same applies to PulseBitcoin. You know, some people just don't view PulseBitcoin in the right way. They're like, well, I've got ASIC tokens, and they're viewing it as just an asset they could just like continuously dump. The problem is there comes a point in a market where you run out of sellers, or I should say, you at least have more people that are willing to buy, or at least more money that's willing to buy versus more money that's willing to be sold. And at that point, the price goes up. So that's one thing to be said about that. And you know, humans are the same. Psychology is the same. Even though we're in a different time period and it's a different market, it's crypto is a more mature market. People are still the same. They will still sell it down. You could still see, you know, crazy crash, you know. But the point is that when you have a brand new asset like PulseBitcoin, especially during halving zero, your main objective or your thought process should only be, how do I get more, and how do I and just literally hold it, buy and hold, mine and hold. That's it, and then seek to like onboard other people into the asset. And I think a lot of, and we've talked about this in the past, I think a lot of people just don't understand the math of PulseBitcoin, or Bitcoin for that matter. It's the same mathematical formula. There's a halving cycle. And right now, this is the best time to get PulseBitcoin and to hold it. It's not how much you mine into existence. It's how much you hold during halving zero. 50% of the supply for PulseBitcoin comes into circulation during this time period. Once you get to halving one, or forget about halving one, the 32 halving cycles from like once halving zero ends, the supply will only double. So that means you get 10,500,000 tokens in halving zero. And then by the time it's all done, which could take anywhere between like 16 and 33 years as an estimate, you've doubled the supply. You've only doubled the supply. Yeah. So if you want to make your money in PulseBitcoin, it's made during halving zero. This is when you hold it.
So what we got here is we got the halving table here. So this is on the white paper. You can go to pulsebitcoin.com. And essentially, I apologize if it's a little bit blurry. But at the top here, we have the PulseBitcoin supply halving. So we're going to cover some basics here. We apologize for some of the community members who are in the live stream, but there's a lot of repeat viewers. We're getting about 30% new viewers on this stuff. So we're going to cover some of the basics of what PulseBitcoin is. So PulseBitcoin is essentially an Ethereum release version of Bitcoin. What makes it the same as Bitcoin? So it's the supply structure. So there's only ever going to be a maximum supply. Is it 21.5 million? I think it's something around 21.5 million is the total supply of OG Bitcoin, and we saw that roughly halve every 4 years, give or take. And then your Bitcoin rewards halve each time that happens. So now I think we're somewhere on this fourth or fifth halving now, and I think we're coming up to the next one next year. So we're seeing that supply shock, and that's why we've seen OG Bitcoin perform so well over the years. So what we've got here is we've got the original Bitcoin chart up here, and this shows I've drawn in the halvings here. So that's a halvening there. And then we had another halvening here. So we touched on earlier of that sell-off we saw, a 90% sell-off, and then we saw a run-up. We saw a run-up of that's almost too large a number for me to quantify there, but it's I think that's a 10,000%, or maybe I'm missing a zero there, but you get the idea. We saw a run-up halfway through the halvening period. We saw a bit of a sell-off. Again, another retracement. These retracements are normal. And then as this line comes in, the first halvening comes in here. What do we see? We see buyers anticipating the halvening coming in. And then we see a price run up and we hit another high. And we go up another 11,500%. And then, as Wolverine said before, there's so much economic energy in Bitcoin now, so many negative externalities that these bull runs are getting smaller and smaller. So, we had 11,500% in the last bull run before that, and the recent one, look, we've had 17, almost 1,800%, right? So we could kind of guess that maybe we see a sell-off here, then we see another run up, but maybe that rise won't be as large. Maybe we'll hit 80K, maybe we'll hit 100. Who knows? Yeah. We might do well. But what we're saying is, why invest in a Bitcoin, which is old tech? Everything in this world progresses. It's so why not invest in something which doesn't damage the environment? Because we're integrating software mining, we're integrating proof of stake technology instead of proof of work. So do you want to touch on that, Wolverine, of what that actually means and how that can kind of help people out in a real life environment, with their profit taking and helping the environment?
Yeah, I mean, so Bitcoin has a fundamental problem, and that it's just very inefficient. It truly is a waste of energy and electricity, plain and simple. Regardless of your views on environment and all that, it's just a waste of energy. And it's so expensive to get a position as like a miner. Like, you're better off market buying Bitcoin versus trying to mine it. PulseBitcoin has a great advantage. It's a brand new market, and anyone with a computer in any country around the world can simply mine it with a laptop. You could even use an old laptop. Sure, your computer might be a little bit slow, which would kind of suck, but it's still possible. It's literally just software mining with time. 30-day increments. So it's infinitely smarter, I think. And you have PulseBitcoin, which you can now lock in an NFT. Where's the locking for Bitcoin? So people, sure, they could just hold it in their like cold storage wallets or whatever. But again, we know from just previous experience with just human psychology is that people are just tempted to hit the sell button, and they need a safety mechanism like that. So that's what's great about PulseBitcoin Lock, is that you could take your PulseBitcoin and whatever quantity you want for however many days, and you can simply create a locked ladder. You don't have to lock it all for like one specific day, but you could just literally lock like batches of it for like every month or every 3 months or every 6 months.
So you could say to as we said before, this is not fun. This is not financial advice. This is very much us talking about our own experience and kind of sharing what we're doing and what we believe in. We're very much kind of passionate about the crypto space. It's coming, whether you like it or not. So you can choose to put your fingers in your ears and say, blah, 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 it's not happening. It's happening. So you either get involved or you don't. Some people are threatened by the centralized exchanges and the way they operate. Some people don't like the way the government may be utilizing this new technology in a way they may agree with or may disagree with. But by not participating, you're not only kind of cutting yourself out of, something that could change your family's life financially, but you're also kind of not including yourself in a way that you can change the narrative yourself. So there's a million tokens out there you can invest in. I would say select ones which you believe in, have the same values that you believe in. And I think DeFi, peer-to-peer exchange of tokens, is something really special about this type of Bitcoin. It's what it was supposed to be originally. Now with Bitcoin, you've got so much institutional money invested into it. the price to move it. You got so many people playing these leverage plays, so many negative externalities here. Most of the coins on these centralized exchanges, some of these centralized exchanges may crash, just like a bank does, just like we saw Goldman Sachs do. Is your money safe there? Well, no, it's not. The same way you say, look at the Bank of Cyprus in 2008. People the bank crashed and they went to withdraw their money and it wasn't there. And we saw the same thing with FTX. So what we're saying is, whether you buy PulseBitcoin or not, take responsibility for your own money. Ask why you're in crypto. Most people would say they're in crypto to have some protection from the banks and have some autonomy over the control of their own money. So this is where it kind of starts. So I think we're the premium project for that. We've got many positive things coming in now. Should we jump into a quick review? We haven't been here in 2 weeks. Should we quickly look at the SBX and the main markets quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do that. And welcome anyone in the chat. We will be opening up for questions soon. Let's just run through the data.
Guys, hit the like, subscribe, and tweet the video out on Twitter.
Yeah. Wolverine, I got slightly triggered the other day. Actually, we're on the PulseBitcoin chat on Telegram, and someone said, "I'm not naming any names. I'm not having a go at you," but someone said, "I'm $8,000 deep. I've done my part," and that annoyed me. It's like it reminds you. It's like opening a restaurant and saying, "I paid $100,000 for that. I've done my part." Well, 80% of restaurants fail. 95% of crypto tokens fail.
And actually, there's a good argument to be made that the more money that you inject into an asset, the more you have. Okay, so let me just say this. When you put a lot of money into an asset, you have equity in that crypto, right? You have equity in that digital asset. Kind of like a startup, like in San Francisco, for example. You might have a startup and maybe some of the newer guys, they're given like 1% equity in the company so that they're motivated to work. And I think you could make a similar analogy to like PulseBitcoin or ASIC. If you put a lot of money into these assets, you have equity in these digital assets. And because you have such a high percentage of equity, you're motivated to work very, very hard for these assets to promote them because you have a lot of money at stake and you'd like to see that grow and perform well. Now, what I've also noticed is that even people with a very small amount, even some of the smallest players in ASIC or PulseBitcoin work extremely hard.
Yes.
And I think they have hard work ethic because their bags are a lot smaller. They need the price to go up way higher and way faster because they're dealing with a lot less economic energy. And so those people are extremely motivated as well. So it's a very interesting setup in terms of work ethic from those that have high equity in the asset and from those that have low equity in the asset. And I think wherever you fall in between that scale, it's only in your best interest to work hard for those assets because the more people that you onboard into these assets, the more money that everyone makes, everyone wins. You can't just buy an asset and then sit around and do nothing. I mean, you can, and you could wait around for everyone else to do work.
Yes,
but it's more efficient. It's more efficient if everyone works together.
And we are in the early stages of this. There's just over 5,000 PulseBitcoin holders, so your input has a massive effect. This is essentially a startup. What we're doing is we're in the exchange of ideas here. Hexinfo has come up with some groundbreaking, revolutionary technology here, and it does rely on the community to kind of go out there and share it. So you might think, "Oh, I'm just one person. I don't have many Twitter followers," and a lot of people don't like investment. They choose business over it. So a lot of people will choose to maybe save up 20,000 and open a business of some sort, and that's great. We have many people and some of our admins who are successful business people, but they tend to prefer hands-on stuff rather than this kind of what's seen with investment as passive. But I think one great thing you can have join this community and invest in this community is that we're early doors, and you can, like me, you can make an impact on price. You can jump in, you can share this stuff, and it doesn't have to be a passive endeavor. But anyway, let's have a quick look at a lot of people are talking about the macro with this economy. Have we bottomed? Have we not bottomed? We're not here to say either way, are we, Wolverine? I mean, But let's look at the charts here. The Dow Jones, obviously. Now, this replicates where Bitcoin started to dump with that double top, and it's funny how much the Bitcoin market does correlate with the general market. And the Dow Jones here, it double tops just like Bitcoin, and we were in this downward channel. And we cautiously broke above it. We were concerned about this 200-day moving average. We seem to pump ahead. Now we look like we're in a holding phase here. So that's, I would say, some bearish people are saying, "Oh, this is a fake out. We're gonna dump." I don't think so. We had some positive news with the Fed meeting the other day. We saw we saw a lowering of interest rates to 0.25%. Now that's been going up at 0.5% for the last few months. So that's a slight pivot. I think that's slightly encouraging, a cautiously encouraging kind of thing. So I'm kind of quite happy about that. I'm happy to speculate that we may have bottomed, but I'm not trying to declare we have. I think we have to. Markets are a liquid thing. We don't know what's going to happen. So I'd say so far we're looking positive. The SPX, similar situation. We've broken out of there now. That's good. Let's see what happens. We haven't taken out the previous high. I think that'll be the next target. See if we can. But we're above $4,000, which is nice. What have we touched? Did we touch the Nasdaq? That's the Dow Jones. Total market cap. Now this is a bit more now focused on the crypto space, right? We've looked at the wider markets, and so the total market cap is how much money is actually in crypto, and that can include stable coins. So I'd say this is really bullish for me. You see the previous all-time high there. We've actually bounced off that as support, and we've touched off it 1, 2, 3 times, and that's super bullish. So a composite operator, someone who has maybe have a large amount of funds for some investment group or whatever else, will look for these sort of things. These are the indicators they'll look for, and I think last time I checked, there's about 8 billion, I think, at least in stable coins sitting ready to be invested. So these are the sort of things the market looks. We may have broken the local trend there. It looks like we've taken out this previous high here. Next target again, like the other charts, is getting to 1.3 trillion. But I think this is potentially really bullish. We could have bottomed, and even if we haven't, even if this is the start of a potentially a sideways market, think how well our products have done with Pulse Doge during the bear market. We've done a 10x with Pulse Doge during a brutal bear market where Bitcoin went down 64%. So I think it shows if something has product market fit and a devoted community, then you don't necessarily have to be in a bull market. So if we did that in a bear market, what could we do in a sideways market when we've got more money freed up looking to invest in these sort of projects?
Yeah, it's not surprising that we saw a major sell-off in Pulse. We've seen a major sell-off in Pulse Doge multiple times. It's a true meme.
Let's bring that up actually as you talk about that. Let's bring that up. So here's the Pulse Doge chart, and yeah, let's talk, because you were here from the early days, and didn't we see it every time we dumped? Oh my god, it's over. Oh my god,
it's a true meme. It's a true meme token. Like, this is a true meme token. Like, it pumps and then dumps.
100%, and we have to laugh because we saw it so many times, didn't we, Wolverine? We
Yeah.
saw that first pullback, and we saw a 79% retrace. Our second pullback, we saw a 77% retrace. Our third pullback, that's slightly inaccurate. We saw a 74% retrace. Now, you seeing the common thing here? We're seeing every time the market participants have a little bit more courage. They're not fudded out. This one was scary because who knew if it was going to crash? That could have been a pump and dump, right? Who knew? Wolverine could have just pumped it and disappeared, but he didn't. The whales stayed. We accumulated. We kept going. The pullback after that was 58%, and now we've had our first real challenge here. Now we've kind of increased our pullback there, but why is that? Well, it's because we now have 3 tokens on the market in our ecosphere. So that's why you can potentially say, yes, there's been a further pullback there. But what have we seen here? We've seen a 64% increase bounce off this bottom, this trend line being respected. A 64% increase here. Look at that. Sorry, 60%. It's quite encouraging. You've only got 2.4 million tokens 2.5 million tokens. Is it Wolverine? We have 55% burn now, not in existence. So I think Pulse Doge will be all right.
The supply is so scarce. It's crazy. And one thing to think about too, when you look at Pulse Doge or ASIC or Pulse Bitcoin, you had a major sell-off on all three assets. Pulse Bitcoin, not surprising because it's like brand new, it's price discovery, and someone set the price high at $30. So of course, like it's just going to be like instantly sold down, right? Because then it's just like overvalued.
Let's load that chart.
But you have to think in terms of like Pulse Doge and like ASIC, they performed very well in this bear market for like brand new assets. Even if you think about like your cost basis for ASIC, some of us had a low cost basis for Pulse Doge. Like for myself, for example, my cost basis per token was like $2. And then when I burned Pulse Doge for ASIC, and you got that 5-to-1 stock split, basically, I just call it a stock split.
Yeah.
You're looking at a cost basis of like 40 cents per ASIC. Yeah. And so like we're still like doing really, really well in this like brutal bear market. And I think what happened was because these assets performed so well, and there's other assets that people could inject their money into, there was just a sell-off. People took profits and they either cashed out and kept the money, or they injected it into other assets that they like, and that's perfectly fine. But I think that the key to success with all of this, if you're in Pulse Doge, ASIC, or Pulse Bitcoin, or a combination thereof, or you have other assets as well, the key to success is not so much the trading. It's because trading could totally get you wrecked because no one knows the future. No one has a crystal ball. No one, sure, sometimes it makes sense to execute a trade, and I've done that in the past. And it just because it's a very logical move. But most of the time, you're better off just buying an asset that you believe in and just holding it. Just hold it. Don't do anything. And if you want a different asset or you want more of that asset, just accumulate more. Just add to your position. The danger of just bouncing around, it's so dangerous. When you're trying to build wealth, a lot of times you'll just end up eroding your wallet to zero. I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, and as you say, these pullbacks, they are normal. All charts they are just showing market sentiment on a graph. It's showing market confidence and market participation. That's all it's showing. It's not hocus pocus. It's not witchcraft. It's just kind of showing market sentiment. And as Wolverine said there, when we had our first pump up, a lot of people, everything was going sideways. Everything was going down, really. Let's say everything was really going down. So we've had our first pullback at 75% here. And what have we seen again? Look back at a few minutes ago when I was talking about some of those macro market, SPX and the Dow Jones. What did we see? We saw bottom, and then we see it be respected a few times. So this shows that the buyers now aren't willing to sell anymore. That people aren't willing to sell. This shows conviction.
Especially with ASIC, because ASIC, a lot of people, the price that they paid for ASIC was $1 because they want the ATM route. Because you could go in the early days of ASIC, you could go the ATM route and not eat any slippage, which was a brilliant design by Hex Info. You could enter the ASIC market during those 30 days, not eat any slippage, not push the price up against yourself, and secure a strong position in the market. And so your cost basis is $1. So why would you're not going to be motivated to sell below $1. So $1 seems like a solid floor for ASIC. Now, have people like sold below that? Sure. But it just usually was like a wick down. And it's, if people want to sell even below that, they can, because then it's just going to give entrance into the market to other players that are looking for like a nice like discount. ASIC, in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, I could be 100% wrong, but in my opinion, $1 seems like a solid floor for ASIC. Even though it could go lower, it just seems like that's pretty much the bottom.
I don't like to make predictions here, but I do like to come with my opinion, and I don't think ASIC is going to go lower. I mean, as I say, with technical analysis, if I was doing this on a Bitcoin chart where you have multi-million participants, you can rely on the data a lot more. And this is an asset which has a lot less market participants because we're new. But so it's like doing a survey. The smaller the survey number, the smaller people you survey, the more inaccurate it is, right? But one thing I'd say here is it does look like it's bottomed. We're now benefiting from this general market uptrend, and we see this lovely this harmonic pattern here, bullish bat signal here, which you can see nice testing to the upside. We've seen other assets, other altcoins now. So when you get Bitcoin topping out and Ethereum topping out, so we've had some amazing stuff here with Ethereum and Bitcoin. And what do we see? I'm sure everyone's heard of altcoin season, and let's just explain that to people that aren't seasoned crypto people. So when Bitcoin and Ethereum makes an uptrend, it tends to consolidate and go sideways, maybe have a sell-off. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum hasn't really, it kind of had a lovely big move here. As you can see here, it's Ethereum itself has done a 40% increase, and that's a big thing for a heavyweight like Ethereum. You know, the amount of money that takes for it to move, and the amount of sell pressure it has on people validating the market. So the fact that it's stayed up there, and it's even making local higher highs in its consolidation. You know, normally you'd expect something like a triangle like that, right? But what's happened? So sometimes you'd see a consolidation, then a bit of a sell-off. You might come down here and bounce to the 200-day, but we're seeing really bullish activity here. So we're now seeing altcoins. So what happens is you get these big moves in Bitcoin and these big moves in Ethereum, and then you get, when they go sideways, people take their profits and then they look for their altcoin alternatives, and then you see those markets pump, and that's why we're seeing that happen. So I think we're going to see a lot of money now start to flow back that may have left this ecosystem, start to flow back. And I think as we progress, and as we pointed out before with Pulse Doge, those market sell-offs get less and less. I think people have more faith in this ecosystem as they get more encouragement. They're not. So one thing we saw with this big ASIC sell-off. Let's talk about this. A lot of FUD was everywhere. And by the way, if you're still here and you held your bags, congratulations to you. You weren't FUDing out.
It's hard to hold your bags when everyone around you is like FUDing the assets, and they're talking about like, oh, it's got low liquidity. Oh, it's like it's just a copycat, or like whales are going to dump on you and use you as exit liquidity, or whatever FUD narratives they come up with. It takes some conviction. It takes some conviction and discipline to hold these assets.
Wolverine, we've got a fudder in here. Should we talk to him directly? 800K dumped Gunther. Well, see, it's funny, isn't it? Really? Well,
hey, first, welcome to markets. Everyone is a buyer and everyone is a seller at some point. So I'd be very careful about just like, it's easy to be like, oh, look, he sold, or, oh, look, whatever. But honestly, everyone is a buyer and everyone is a seller. So you have to be careful with the hypocrisy element. The second thing to be stated is, okay, where did the majority of that money go? It was injected into Pulse Doge to give it value in the early days when a lot of people actually used me as to exit the market. They used my money as exit liquidity. So I mean, and then and then a lot of those the Pulse Doge position got burned for ASIC and now mining Pulse Bitcoin. And despite what people think, I haven't sold to this date. It doesn't mean I won't be a seller in the future, but to this date, I've never sold a single Pulse Bitcoin.
And I think I think one thing that should be said is people that that's how to put this. People are upset that Gunther Wolverine dumped his position in a certain token, right? Well, maybe that's because we all invest in things we believe in. That's what this stream's about, investing in conviction. Maybe Wolverine saw the tokenomics of that system and saw it as hyperinflationary and didn't necessarily see that as the best place to keep his economic energy. What this ecosystem, which Hexinfo's created, is the idea of scarcity and limited supply. So all he's done is redistribute his wealth into this system and welcomed anyone that wants to join him to come over. Now, the token he dumped was actually a free claim. And the same way we welcomed everyone that wanted to dump their free claim, we are a free market. And people that were dumping Pulse Doge early on, there were some people that were trying to expose these people. And Wolverine was one of the first people to come out and say, let people dump. That's their money. Let them dump. They might cry after when we made a 10x, and they did.
Yeah.
But this is a free market of opportunity. We're in the business of selling ideas, and this is what it's about. Can we convince enough people to believe in the idea of scarcity? And I think scarcity is our biggest play and our biggest proponent, which we have in this ecosystem, as well as all the other groundbreaking technology. We're the first ecosystem to introduce proof of work type mining, but using proof of stake. Like that's something that's never been done before. At this point, I want to welcome in Zombie Miner. Zombie Miner is one of our community leaders. He's actually started up a Facebook group. I don't know if someone could post that in the main chat, but we're growing on all cylinders here, guys. We're firing off on all cylinders. We've got some Pulse Doge, Instagram. Some people are going to start doing a TikTok soon. PulseBitcoin, Instagram soon to come. Zombie Miner has actually started up a Facebook group. He was really big in other ecospheres, building up the participation in that. He's a really good onboarder. So let's welcome him in. Zombie Miner, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey guys, how you doing, man? Just sitting back here watching y'all do your thing.
Nice.
While I'm
What's
slaving
up, buddy?
in here like a civilian.
So Zombie, we were talking before. You're a business owner. Tell people a little
Yes,
bit
sir.
about your business experience.
Well, I've been a business owner for at least 20 years now. My focus has been the automobile industry. So this particular business, we have a store. It's a detail supply store, and we have 8 locations all over the East Coast right now. We're expanding rapidly. I also own a service company called Ceramic Pro, which are global. They're everywhere. And then we own 2 manufactured brands that we sell in our stores. So kind of like Costco has the Kirkland brand. We also have our brands here too. So yeah, man, it's been fun, and it allows me lots of additional cash flow to put into this ecosystem.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, guys, do you mind if I give a quick update on our giveaway? Now, again, so I haven't got YouTube loaded up here, but I think we were at 380 subscribers before this stream. We're trying to get to 500, guys, so we're only 120 away. As I said before, there's 9,000 of you in the Telegram, and I know it's such an effort for you to come over here and lift that arm, put it on the table, get that mouse right down to the bottom right of the screen and click that subscribe button. It's a terrible effort for you, and I understand it must be really exhausting. But if you can find the effort, if you can summon the effort from the higher powers to move your mouse down there and click like, maybe subscribe, and just maybe even spend 2 minutes in your life and sharing a stream, or going on Twitter and promoting your asset, pumping your bags, it means so much. The reason we did so well with Pulse Doge is because we had about 2,000 participants at the start, and we were adamant. We never rested. We had 30 people in the voice chats every day. We were pumping this stuff out everywhere, and we did 14x. So, as I said before, if the community just puts that slight bit of effort into promoting this thing, then we can really do wonderful things. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break. I want to play a video. So I like to, because basically Gunther did his I keep saying Gunther, we should call him Wolverine. Wolverine did his first competition a few months ago, and it was basically a 10,000 Pulse Bitcoin giveaway to try and encourage people to make content. So one thing we try and do on this channel is to kind of show some of this great content we have. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to play one we haven't played before on this channel. And this one was by, I think it's Pulse Doctor, and he does a quick overview of the history of Pulse Bitcoin. Sorry, the history of Bitcoin and Pulse Bitcoin. So go grab yourself a drink, take a toilet break. We're back in 2 minutes.
This is the story of a collapsing financial ecosystem and an innovative technology that offers the world a solution. The year is 2008. Overleveraged banks became insolvent, causing the housing market to collapse, sparking a horrible recession. In response to this, an anonymous figurehead by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto gifted the world with a novel technology called Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the world's first attempt at a decentralized peer-to-peer payment network, which would be validated on what is known as a blockchain. This technology sparked creation, and other altcoins were born, like Ethereum, Litecoin, and Dogecoin. These blockchains all used a proof-of-work consensus mechanism, which consumes large amounts of energy and is bad for the environment. Genius visionary and founder Richard Hart is solving this negative externality with PulseChain, a faster, more efficient, environmentally friendly fork of Ethereum with lower gas fees that will usher in a new era for cryptocurrency. Now back to our story. We fast forward to the great bull run of 2021. Bitcoin hits an all-time high of $69,000. The market is full of euphoria. But behind the scenes, centralized exchanges and lending organizations over-leveraged themselves just like the banks in 2008. 2022, the market crashes. Companies like Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, FTX, and BlockFi file for bankruptcy. Users lose billions. So if centralized exchanges cannot be trusted, what other choice do we have to earn yield on our investments? Well, with well-written and audited smart contracts, users can earn trustless yield simply by interacting with the code and blockchain. Another genius founder, HexInfo, created PulseDogecoin, a hyper-deflationary, decentralized king of meme coins. PulseDogecoin rose from the ashes, and during a brutal, bloody bear market, hit an all-time high, increasing its value over 1,000%. HexInfo then envisioned a better Bitcoin where users could mine the new coin using an innovative token called ASIC. For a limited time on PulseBitcoin.com, users can transform one Pulse Dogecoin into 5 ASIC tokens, or you can simply purchase ASIC on your favorite DEX like CowSwap or Uniswap. That ASIC can then be staked inside a smart contract for 30-day increments to mine Pulse Bitcoin. The current reward for mining is 7.5% per month, which equates to 90% APY. This mined Pulse Bitcoin can then be stored in a hardware wallet and held for the creation of generational wealth. Don't miss out. I hope you all liked my video. Follow me on Twitter at PulseDoctor369 and follow HexInfo and Wolverine2241 for community updates.
Yeah, so I think it's important to show that sort of stuff. So Wolverine, you have a current competition going on, and that's to onboard India. Before we go into the details of that, what was your thought process behind trying to attract India? Because I know originally when we spoke in the early Pulse Doge days, you're someone that really wants to change the world for the better and actually make this something which can raise people up out of poverty.
Yeah, so my thought process for India, which is not a popular, my idea to onboard India is not popular.
No, there's reasons for that, because a lot of people would say, Wolverine, why are we focusing on India? The money's in the West. You could argue that, yes, but I still think this is a really important thing for our message and what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think I agree. And so India has 1.4 billion people. It's estimated that 100 million Indians are in crypto. Even if you just captured 10% of that market, you'd have if you could onboard 10 million users into Pulse Bitcoin ecosystem. Furthermore, the argument that money is only in the West, I think, is a very prejudicial, arrogant, and misguided thought process of Westerners. You think there's no money in India? I mean, that's the delusional thought process. It's not. So sure, it does have a lot of poverty. However, if you only have the mindset of, oh, let's just have like Westerners get rich in crypto, I think that sucks. I think wealth is for anyone in the world, wherever you live. It doesn't matter where you live. These people just need to be given the tools to create that wealth and the opportunity. And sometimes they don't need, you don't need a lot of money necessarily. Like maybe you're in Hyderabad, India, and you can only put in, let's say, like $100 into ASIC. But you put that in and you just mine Pulse Bitcoin, or you just market buy Pulse Bitcoin and you hold it. Well, that could be life-changing wealth for your family, just because you just took that risk and started with a small amount of money.
Yeah.
What happens when Pulse Bitcoin is trading if it's trading in the future at $1,000 or $10,000 per token? You don't need necessarily.
So not if, when.
Yeah, I'm cautious with I guess forward-looking statements, but yeah, I mean, I'm a true believer. I've locked maybe 280,000 Pulse Bitcoins for anywhere between 1,000 and 10,000 days. And I think other users that are in Pulse Bitcoin, they should look at that and be like, wow, okay, maybe I should do something similar. I'm not saying you should necessarily lock it for that length of time, because people have different financial positions and have different financial objectives. But I think they should at least consider building like a locked ladder as a safety mechanism for themselves and as a way to build wealth. And I've mentioned this before, like you could build a ladder that's like maybe monthly or quarterly or every 6 months. and have it go out 10 years or 15 years. And now you're creating generational wealth, not just for you, but also for your family. So I think this is a great opportunity for that.
Yeah. And on that point, yes, some people could say, and I was one of the early people that did question the move to onboard India. I almost said my argument, and one thing I like about this ecospace is we can have kind of, we don't all just line up behind the whales and just whatever they say we praise down to them. We have a discussion, and I was one of the people early on critical about the onboarding to India. I was almost, we haven't onboarded the US yet. Why are we onboarding India? But I think it goes back to Wolverine's early principles, which he did discuss, of trying to make crypto something which is beneficial for the average user, to try and raise people out of wealth, out of poverty. But not only the kind of altruistic kind of endeavor there. Let's say you did onboard, say, 1,000 Indians, and they maybe had less economic energy to put in. Even though that might not show as well on the charts as onboarding 1,000 US citizens, what that will do is when they make that 10x or whatever it might be, they're going to share that far and wide, much further. That 10x has been much more effective on their life and make a lot more groundbreaking kind of news to talk about. So I think that's an interesting key. Remember.
And you have and these some. So think about all of the Indians in Hyderabad, India, that are in ASIC and Pulse Bitcoin. People are sleeping on this. They don't really understand what's happening.
Yeah,
that they're making major a major effort to onboard their own people into the asset. Imagine if this was to go viral, even in just that region alone. You have politicians that want the economy just in Hyderabad to get to like a $15 trillion economy, because they're looking at.
So talk about Hyderabad.
Well, yeah. So I can't say much, but just a little bit, just a brief.
What is it? Because I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, just a region in India, and there you have some Pulse Bitcoin miners that live in that area, and they're looking to they're actually onboarding users into ASIC and Pulse Bitcoin. It's being led by Sony, 0x Sony on Twitter.
Oh yes, yeah, we've seen him, and also, so I want to welcome someone in the chat here, Deepak Kumar, and we've actually started to now get, as you say, Sony as well. We're starting to get a few of these Indian guys who are actually starting to really make some effort, go out on the streets. They're printing some of these cards. They're engaging with people. And I think there's a meetup. Is there not, Wolverine? Actually helping onboarding.
I think tomorrow, actually. I'm not sure what time it is right now, but yeah, the meetup is very soon. And what's interesting about that region is that you have some politicians, or at least some influencers that really want to stimulate the economy of India, and they have efforts to make India a more developed country. And so what better way than to teach the people how to generate their own wealth, where they're just mining Pulse Bitcoin on an old laptop in their in their humble abode. I mean, to me that's really, really smart. You could create wealth at the family level and let that spread throughout, and it could spread very fast, especially in such a dense population area.
So let's go over the India competition one more time. So when does the competition close for India? Because bear in mind, I think CR now is going to start clipping some of these points, and we're going to start to try and broaden out on TikTok. Anyone that's interested in helping us, we have no private copyright on any of this content. If anyone in the community wants to clip any of these bits and send them out, create any YouTube or whatever social media you have our permission to. We appreciate it. So, Wolverine, what is the India competition? Would you like to go over that? And when the closing date is, and participate?
It's a 90-day contest. In the future, if I ever do one again, which there's no promises or guarantee that I will, but if I do, it would be only 30 days. This one is for 3 months, and so I'm kind of bound by just the terms of the original tweet, so I don't want to change that. It started on December 23rd, and so it ends March 23rd. And there's 3 prizes. There's a 5,000 Pulse Bitcoin tokens, 3,000 and 2,000. And actually, if you scroll down on this thread, I actually created a 1,000-day NFT of each of those prizes. So if you scroll down just a little bit, let's see if you can find.
Seriously, I've preloaded these images.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries.
I can get your Twitter up on another screen.
Yeah,
might take a little while, but
yeah. So I created the NFTs already. So the tokens are already there, and they're already reserved, and they're already locked. And so when it comes time to select the 3 winners, just simply send them a transferable NFT, and now they have not only Pulse, like a fat stack of PulseBitcoin, but they have it locked for 1,000 days. And that could be very interesting because maybe that coincides somewhere with maybe much higher prices during the upcoming bull run.
So we got a question from Pulse Doctor. Now, Pulse Doctor is the guy that we actually played that last video from the last competition. We appreciate you, Pulse Doctor. That was great content. People in the chat love it. They're actually asking where they can download it, and more people are actually asking where they can get this content. So, as much as Wolverine's effort to kind of get people to make this content, I think people are kind of thinking, oh, the competition's over now. But what we have on Telegram, we have a group, Pulse Bitcoin videos. Again, if one of the admins can share that in the chat, that'd be great. I'll do it if not, but I've got my hands tied here. We've got Pulse Bitcoin videos and we have Pulse Bitcoin memes. So you can jump in there. You can grab any of this stuff and you can share it however you see best. And I think that's the way we have to grow forward. There's no point in making all this stuff if we're not sharing it.
Yeah, even with the early videos everyone created, from time to time, I'll just like raid Twitter and just like blitz share like a lot of the videos that people have created because they spent so much time in creating that awesome content. And again, like you're saying, like it's good to kind of share the material. And you still have some that are creating new content, but we have some really, really good material already to work with. With India, what I would really like to see, I think they've done a great job of just like memes and like tweets and stuff like that. But really what we need is cultural videos, videos where they're actually onboarding users in these like densely populated areas. I think that would be really, really cool. Or walking around just different parts wearing like a Pulse Bitcoin shirt and like just passing out like materials and stuff. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, and on that point, if you are interested in let's say shilling happens. Shilling is a kind of a nasty term, but it's a term we understand in crypto. You can do it just by wearing a t-shirt, and you are a walking billboard at that point, you know. So we do have one of our admins who has created a store. Let's load that up here. So yeah, even if you just want to buy a t-shirt, there you go. You can go to pulsebitcoin.store. There's no affiliation with this. There's no profit sharing with me or anyone here. This is just one of our admins who is based out in the Far East. You can pretty much buy anything you want there and shill that way, you know. We're going to have some new stuff at the Tampa meetup next week. We've got some hats. We'll try and give some of those away, shipping in mind. But on that point, actually, I almost forgot to mention, we have when we hit 500 subscribers on this channel, which we're almost 100 away from now. At the moment, we have 200 ASIC winning giveaway. More is flowing in from our generous admins and community leaders. But yeah, 200. As soon as we hit that 500 members on the YouTube, which is not far away. Hopefully we'll hit it by next week. I'll be giving away whatever's in the in the pot there. At the moment, it's 200 ASIC. We'll be giving that away to one lucky subscriber. So what we have to do is subscribe to the channel and go to the YouTube channel and click on the second episode and just type in hashtag PulseBitcoin, and we'll be choosing the person live. And hopefully that'll happen when we're in Tampa, guys. So help us out. Try and get that 100 subscribers up so I can give them away when we're live in Tampa. I'll actually be doing 3 live streams in Tampa. And basically that's trying to show we're all just so passionate about this thing, you know. We want to meet up. We've been knowing each other for 8 months. We're all here to stay. You know, you can see my face on camera. You can see some of the other people on camera. This isn't a pump and dump. If this was a pump and dump, if this was a shady endeavor, we'd be hiding our faces, you know. So yeah, so tune in. I think that'll be fun. We might have some speeches. We'll have Pepe's restaurant. We're going to be playing some golf, live questions, just some fun stuff. So yeah, get us up to 500 subs. We're giving away that. And I think one thing this community likes to be proud of is we're a very generous community. So you come into the Telegram group. There's live chats there all the time, pretty much. You can come in there and ask any questions you have. There's no financial advice in there, but you can ask other people what they've done with their money. Yeah, we're really looking to grow. Zombie, you've got the group on Facebook, right? And you had some previous really good experience with onboarding people through those channels, right?
Yeah. So just real quick on me. So I was involved with a lot of the Hex onboarding in 2020, 2021. And we did it through, of course, the Hex Tour. And I was at a couple of those locations, hosted those. I think those are great. I would really like to get that, kind of going here as well in this ecosystem, which you guys are already kicking off. Phenomenal. It would be really great to kind of have like a central location, like a central website, web page, something that could maybe show where they are going to be. And then people can either RSVP or so we have an idea of who may be there. But all that stuff worked. And so I figured, we needed a Facebook. We still need an Instagram. That's one thing that we have not completed yet. Nobody wants to touch TikTok because it is a Chinese spy thing, right? But it's something we probably need, I think, as well. I know that a lot of Hexicans are doing their thing, and that works there. So Facebook is kind of my bag, just because I have a lot of users on there that follow me, and I think we've already got probably about 35 to 40 people on board just through the Facebook group that I physically have.
We're up to 150 members or something like that, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, only 150 members, but it's still brand new. And look, Facebook's not for everyone, but I found that there's more, people on Twitter with crypto than Facebook, and that's the problem. We need these people on Facebook to see, these crypto coins that we're promoting here. So it's just been, no one's really ventured onto Facebook, and I felt like it was kind of getting left to the wayside. So a lot of us older guys like to be on Facebook, more so than say an Instagram. So it just touches different type of people, that's all.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's really smart. And, on Facebook, you're going to find, maybe a lot of your coworkers or your old coworkers too. And that you're basically connected to all your family and friends. And so it's a great way to kind of just hey, have you looked into this? Look into the website. Look, I've started mining. This is how much PulseBitcoin I'm mining every month. People don't realize, even whales. I'm so shocked and surprised that many whales have stayed out of ASIC and PulseBitcoin. You guys are crazy. Yeah. There's so much money to be made. There's so much money to be mined right now. And even though PulseBitcoin doesn't have much value, it's only like a roughly $1 or a little less or whatever it's at. I haven't checked the price, but whatever it's at, let's call it $1. For example, if you somehow are able to pick up a position slowly over time because the liquidity is low. But if you're able to, as a whale, if you're able to get 1 million ASICs, well, guess what? Now you can mine 75,000 Pulse Bitcoin per month, and Pulse Bitcoin trading at $1. That's $75,000 of revenue every single month for doing nothing, starting a miner and ending a miner. And then that is just the value today. I'm not suggesting you should be selling that. Just mine it and hold it. And if you keep doing that, you're going to capture a large percentage of the supply. This is having zero. So, to me, whales are crazy that they're actually sleeping on. And
I've actually just loaded up the ASIC liquidity pool here. This is the main liquidity pool for ASIC against USDC, and just look at the potential here. I mean, before we had some maybe people we didn't agree with in the ecosystem creating sell walls in front of the price, right? But now look at this; it's just opened up. They've taken their money. They've gone elsewhere to pump chase. And I think pump chasing will get you wrecked. That's why we talk about investing in conviction. But look at this stuff. Look, the next buy will 6,000 tokens. You're talking look, it's just open. There's no what you see here. Usually if the price has been suppressed, you'd see massive sell walls here of tokens you have to chew through to rise. So we are so open now for a price pump. Not financial advice.
Even someone had DM'd me recently asking hey, is there a way to do an over-the-counter trade?
Oh, dude, we're getting so many of those people, and it's just ridiculous.
But you know what? Honestly, I looked at it today and I was you know what? You could probably just go market buy that on CowSwap. go to usdcasic.com.
So you could
or
you can market buy right now. So let's say you want 6,600 ASIC. You could market buy now, and you're only moving the price up.
Personal slippage
tiny
is probably
amount.
like 3%, right?
You're moving the price up to 2 cents. If you
Yeah,
bought.
you're not moving it up. If someone wanted to buy even like 40,000, I was like, even if you did that in one order, your slippage would be okay. Maybe your personal slippage would be maybe roughly 8%. But for what you're getting your position quickly built, you don't have to just do one buy.
Most over the counter trades, you'll be paying a 10% premium.
Yeah,
so,
plus there's just risk. There's just risk of doing the over the counter.
And also try and find me a well that's going to, after this dumpage, now we have the rock solid wells. Try and find me a well that's going to sell you $40,000 worth of ASIC. They're not going to do it. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Sorry. I want to quickly cover. So this is something I asked Corky in the main chat. Corky is one of our amazing devs, and I see another one in the chat there, USCG Vet. Welcome to you. He's got a comment here. If wells don't want to mine, fine by me. I'll get higher yield for longer. More PLSB for me. And I think that's the takeaway.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway. But yeah, Corky, so each week we were trying to cover the wallets, and I wasn't keeping a very good record. I was trying to roughly calculate how many new PLSB wallets we had. But here we are, Corky, being a legend he is, and he's the one that has the corky.info website, which is here. So let's start off with this. So PulseBitcoin halving estimate. So due to the current calculations, the way this is worked out is as soon as you start a miner, it's going to calculate that into this algorithm, right? So currently we're looking at an estimate to hit the first halving 0, would you call it, or halving 1? Would it be halving 0 we're hitting? I think we're in halving 0 now.
We're in halving 0.
Yes.
We're in halving 0 where you get 50% of the supply. And then, so the next one is just halving 1, and there's a total of 32 halving cycles. And each time you reach a halving cycle, the reward gets cut in half. So right now you're getting 7.5%. Well, that's about to get cut in half, and so you're only going to get 50% of that.
So now we're almost at 51% of the first halving cycle. So we're closer to the first halving cycle we've ever been, right?
Hey, how come the estimate for the halving countdown on PulseBitcoin.com is 73 days? Which one is more? Which one is more accurate? Is it Corky site or Xinfo site?
Good question. I don't think we can work that out live, but if you want in the background. But
yeah,
anyway,
we'll work that out.
So we're looking at 7th of May. And actually, that was previously in April. But as we're seeing here, right, so we're seeing less people. What was it? We're seeing it dissipate. So we're seeing what we saw is originally after the first 30 days, maximum amount of tokens, ASIC tokens, come out of the mine and all this PLSB created. And then we saw these kind of the rest of it get restaked here. What we're seeing now is slightly lower. So what we're going to see is that slowly dissipate over time. But then I reckon what you'll see is as we get closer towards this mining period, which is not far away, it's going to be in the start of May. I would have money on that pulling back to April, because what you're going to get is when we start to go through this month, when we start to get to March, people are going to start to cost in. What do we see with the charts we saw before with the halving effect on traditional Bitcoin? The market will start to anticipate something, buy the rumor and sell the news. So people will anticipate this massive. We're going to have a massive supply shock. A massive supply shock. Suddenly, you're only going to get half the value of your mined tokens. So all the people that have been willy-nilly throwing away their ASIC, sorry, their PulseBitcoin thing is a dump token. They're going to get wrecked. They're going to get so wrecked, and it's just funny. It's just funny because I can't wait to drink their tears. But yeah, so what we're seeing this dissipated slowly and slowly. We've got the ASIC PLSB supply chart here. So this shows you there was almost no PulseBitcoin at the start. Then we saw the first bit of supply come out. This is the ASIC supply. So the first bit that came out of the mines suddenly. So what happens essentially with ASIC? Probably the reason you're seeing some of this kind of crazy choppiness in the price is because even though there's around 20 million ASIC tokens, when you enter the mine, which 95% of us are doing with total supply, essentially you're burning that. So when you go onto some of these websites and you're looking at ASIC, you're only really looking at about 8% of ASIC, and that's why you're seeing such choppiness, and you're seeing even smaller percentages of that on the liquidity pools. So when we saw ASIC do this massive pullback, you might look at this as someone that doesn't understand this ecosystem and say, wow, we've had a 75% retracement. That means that 75% of people holding this token have dumped it. That's incorrect. This is 8% of the market, or maybe less, of the active tokens that are not locked up in the contract. The people that don't understand the use case of ASIC is to mine PLSB. They're the ones affecting the market right now. And I said before in the last stream, I'm not sure if I said it correctly, but let's say you bought a piece of hardware mining software like a graphics card back in 2014, and you spent $1,000 on a piece of hardware and you were mining 50 block reward rates on Bitcoin. Would you care if the price dropped by 75% on that hardware 2 months later? No, you wouldn't, because you bought that piece of hardware to mine Bitcoin. So all of this price fluctuation, let me tell you, if I bought ASIC at $1 and it's 50 cents, or then it's at 4, well, it did a 4x. I didn't sell at 4x because I'm mining PulseBitcoin, because I understand I have conviction in my investment, and the conviction in my investment is the better Bitcoin. It's why we're here. This isn't the ASIC token. We don't call this is not the ASIC token live. This is PulseBitcoin live. And as I said before, we've got people like we've got so many third-party devs on side. We've got USCG Vet in here, which might be doing some interesting stuff with some of the tokens. We've got Corky, might be doing some interesting stuff. There's so many third-party developments here. This is why it's DeFi. It's buildable. This is what Bitcoin can't do. Pulse Chain, another Pumpamental, may or may not come out. We're really excited about that. Guys, anything else you want to cover? We'll start to wrap up soon. And thank you for being here.
Well,
you first, Gun. Go ahead, buddy. I got a couple of things I'd like to say.
Okay, sure. So I tweeted, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I don't remember. But you never know, what's big with it. What's important to me, I think, in this community is proof of participation. And I like that everyone showed up today. I like that.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
It shows you got skin in the game. You're participating. This is a community effort. You never know. Some of us, we're not going to be around forever. You shouldn't. The success of ASIC and PulseBitcoin and Pulse Dogecoin, that all comes down to community. You don't need Hex Info. You don't need Wolverine. You don't need Pepe. You don't need anyone else. Everyone kind of just does their own part. They give what they want and as they can. But it shouldn't. This is a decentralized network. It's not based on just one person. And so I think it's just nice that it's a giant community effort that's going to make this successful. But anyway, I'd like to do an NFT giveaway on the stream, do 1,000 PulseBitcoin. So
But now or in the future?
No, right now. It's spontaneous.
Right. Okay.
If you showed up, you can participate.
So first of all, let's what we'll do is we'll play an advert. Let's let everyone else know about this. Let's try and pump the viewers up to 100 or whatever we can do, guys. Let's put out a tweet saying Wolverine's about to give away. What was it? How much?
We'll do 1,000 PulseBitcoin.
So Wolverine's about to give away 1,000 PulseBitcoin. Let someone write the tweet, and we'll all reshare it. And what we'll do is we'll play a video and we'll come back in a few minutes. But let's get a tweet. Let's get it in the main chat, and then what we'll do is we'll share that about, see if we can up the numbers, and then we'll go for it. What are you thinking? What do you want to type that out yourself, Wolverine, or do you want someone else to type that out for you?
Anyone can tweet it. I'll tweet it as well. Actually, it'd be better if everyone tweeted it.
Yeah. So it's better if one person does a tweet and we all reshare it. So what we'll do is we'll play a quick video. So if someone wants to write a tweet along the lines of share the link here for this YouTube stream. We're live now. Wolverine's about to give away 1,000 PulseBitcoin, and then share it in the main chat here, and then we'll all share it. and we'll be back in a few minutes. How's that? Sorry, what's his name's not here. Which video should we play? That's the question. Oh, we got this one. I want to show this one quick. It's only 20 seconds, but let's show this one. It's the PulseBitcoin lock.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. This is where they die. And these shield boys. Remember this day, man. For it will be yours for all time.
I love that stupid shit. All right, guys, we'll be back in. So get the tweets going. See if anyone's doing this in the comments. Yeah, let's get a tweet going. Let's get some people in here. Share it in the Telegram group. Share it on Twitter. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Are you priced out of mining Bitcoin? Has life got you down waiting for your transaction to clear? Is your conscience tormenting you regarding proof of work energy consumption? Are you struggling to break out of your 9-to-5 with diminishing returns on your investment? Fear not, friend. PulseBitcoin is here.
Work it, make it, do it, make sense.
Mine yourself, free of expensive hardware. Existing within the Ethereum proof-of-stake ecosystem and soon to be copied over to the faster, cheaper Pulse chain. Weren't around in 2009. Be early this time. Start mining now. Hold up. How do I get PulseBitcoin, you might ask? Easy. Degen market by ASIC token using DeFi. Or acquire Pulse Dogecoin and burn for ASIC token before December 20th at pulsebitcoin.app. Stake your ASIC tokens to mine PulseBitcoin every 30 days. Get paid by the most important commodity we have. Time. As to when your initiation into the greatest gigabrain tokenomic reflexivity begins, you decide.
And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had time to share the tweet. It's not much time. Thank you, Sarah, in the PulseBitcoin chat for sharing that. Thank you, Sony, for making the tweet. We appreciate that. Up to 70 viewers now. Wolverine, how are we going to play this? How do you want to do this?
I'm open for suggestions. Last time we did...
don't do the numbers thing again. That was a disaster.
Yeah, last time we did numbers. We need something different. What do you guys think?
Well, I'd tell you what, one thing we could do. Let me quickly look off screen. I think you can get a random comment selector, which might be good. Let me quickly see if I can look that up in the background. Yeah, any suggestions?
This will be an NFT, by the way. 1,000-day NFT.
Yeah, great.
I'm helping you on your journey.
I think you guys should incentivize, make these guys work for it a little bit and do it off of like Twitter where they have to reshare your tweet or something. And that's where you find the participants. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Ain't nothing for free, man. You got to work for it.
I like it. Go tweet something about PulseBitcoin, and we can pick somebody randomly.
That's one thing I want to kind of talk about too. I've noticed, we have a lot of people active on Twitter, doing their posts and stuff, but they're really not using the algorithm to their advantage. And I think that maybe that's probably our fault a little bit, that we can maybe educate these guys a little better as to how they can kind of help get more eyes on PulseBitcoin. Of course, hashtags, are important and everything, but I'm seeing, just simple things like that are not getting done with hashtags and stuff.
Yeah.
So at least
not abusing hashtags either,
right.
But using them, and like you need like a high quality tweet, and it's just simple, like hashtag ASIC or hashtag PulseBitcoin or something like that.
Right, and that's how you get trending, right? So
yeah,
I like absolutely. And the other thing is too, like, I see a lot of guys that are really trying their hardest to post every day, and they're getting like one like. And, how hard is it to just, as you're scrolling through, just tap a like and get these guys, that motivates them to do more. Yeah. So if, like me, I'm a prime example. I just opened my Twitter account probably about 2 months ago. And I went from having like, 5,000 to 10,000 followers on different chains to having 100. And so like, I kind of feel like a nobody on there, where when I post something, no one looks at it, and it's not really necessarily your fault. You're just getting kind of buried with the algorithm. So, I think we need to team up and try to propel some of these guys that want to be faces.
It's super important. Like if I see a tweet that is good, I'll just like and retweet. No questions asked.
For sure.
I don't care if you got 1 follower or a million. If it's a good tweet and it's promoting our ecosystem, why not? Hit the like button.
Absolutely.
It's really, really important. And it's so easy. It's so easy that even
super simple. Super simple.
I mean, to be honest, I was off screen there. I was quickly trying to do this random comment picker. I don't think I can do it in the time we have and do it accurately.
No, it's okay. Actually, we just have people. Let's get some idea.
Well, I think that number game might be the best way we can do it, because it's a way that it worked last time, right?
Yeah.
And then what we can do is, so I'll suggest the idea. We're not saying this is the way we're doing it yet, so no one posted any numbers yet. But the idea originally was, we've got 73 people in here. So if you guess a number between 1 and 100 and you type it in the chat, Wolverine will come up with a number in his head, and the first person to say that number will win. Should we go with that, Wolverine, out of easiness, or do you want to extend this to maybe a giveaway in a few days? I don't know what you want to do. So it's your money, dude.
I like the idea that remind me of your name.
Oh, my real name, you can call me Matt. How about that?
We'll call you Matt.
Yeah, we were talking about incentivizing to maybe get them to retweet or post something about PulseBitcoin instead of. We already have these people here in the chat. So
how about this stream? Just tweet the hell out of this stream.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Yeah. I like it.
Tweet the stream and just put hashtag PulseBitcoin, hashtag ASIC or something like that.
Or maybe a sentence of why you have conviction in this ecosystem. Maybe a line of why you have conviction in this ecosystem, and then share the link, and then when should we select the winner? Maybe, and how many days do you want to select the winner?
No, we'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Oh, okay.
You got one shot. Go on Twitter. Okay. Post a live stream.
Yeah, I like it, man.
I like it.
One sentence as to why you like PulseBitcoin, and then just put hashtag PulseBitcoin.
So what we'll do is we'll go back to the. So you guys got a few minutes now. We'll go back to the normal content, and then we'll come back to it. So start your tweets, and then share your tweets. Put the links.
Don't post numbers, guys.
They're already sharing numbers. What did I say?
Yeah. Are you guys listening? You got to follow instructions if you want to win.
Yeah.
It's on delay, Sammy. It's that delay, brother.
Yeah. We're from the old country. It takes a while for the. So we're up to 76 viewers. And by the way, thank you for the pump in the viewers there, and thank you for the pump in the subscribers. So,
yeah. You guys should tag Fat Sammy, myself, and Zombie in the tweet, and then. Sure. I will let you guys choose the winner so that people know that it's not rigged, that I'm not selecting someone out of favoritism.
Yeah. So just make sure you paste your tweet into the live chat here. Yeah. What else do we want to cover? There's so much to cover. Do you know, every time I end this show, I always kick myself. So I'm like, I forgot to mention that. I forgot to mention this, you know. But if anyone's got any questions, so yeah, we've covered.
I have one thing to say.
Yeah, go on.
Just buy $1 worth of Pulse Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, do you remember that? That was amazing. Would you remember his name? The guy that said that.
Oh man, I forget.
It's the black guy, isn't he? He's friends with Carl the Moon, isn't he? And friends with the other German dude.
Yeah. I saw his video recently.
What is his name? Why am I having a brain fart?
Yeah.
But you're frozen on the screen. Is that just for
frozen? It's like a frozen pizza. But anyway, let's quickly go to the while everyone's writing their tweets.
All you got to do, if you're not in Pulse Bitcoin today, I want you to buy $1. Just buy one Pulse Bitcoin. Let's put it that way. One Pulse Bitcoin. I think it's trading at $1.04. One Pulse Bitcoin and lock it for 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, man.
10 years.
That's it.
Da Vinci, that was it. Someone in the comments, Da Vinci.
Yeah, Da Vinci.
Da Vinci, yes.
That was great, wasn't it? And he had some foresight there. That's a man that had conviction in his investment. He saw the trend, he saw the product market fit, and he invested in it. And I just wish some of those old Bitcoin guys had the same conviction they do in changing technology. You know, it's like a computer that came out 12 years ago is kind of useless now, right? And that's what we're seeing with Bitcoin. It works great, but it's just things evolve. We are a fringe thing at the moment, but we're not going to cover all the basic reasons why Pulse Bitcoin is just a better Bitcoin. It's so obvious.
The return on investment is huge. Like I mined for years, and with all the externalities and just the overhead and everything, like, man, if you didn't have a massive setup, like, you weren't really making shit.
Yeah.
So this is the way to go. And I'm a business owner, and I'm sitting here today working while all you guys are just on YouTube, and I'm like, I'm slaving away here, and I make more money in crypto, you know. But
no, we're just retired, semi-retired delinquents hanging out on YouTube.
I'm jealous.
I want to show this bullish chart. It's really sexy. I've got to show this to the gang.
What are you saying, Go?
If you're not making money while you're walking on the beach or out with the girlfriends having dinner or washing the dishes, you're doing it wrong. You have to rethink your strategy. It needs to be efficient. Now, obviously, like, sure, you could still like run like your own business and work your own job or jobs, and because everyone needs to survive, right? But like, if you could just take a fraction of each paycheck, like a reasonable amount, like, don't overinvest, but just something that you're comfortable with and it's not going to hurt you financially. Just take a percentage of that every single paycheck or every tax return and whatever. Anytime you get extra money, just buy some ASIC and mine Pulse Bitcoin, or market buy Pulse Bitcoin, hold it or lock it. It's really, really simple. Just buy and hold, build your position. You could start from nothing. I started in crypto in 2017. You know, you were talking earlier, Fat Sammy, about the major Bitcoin run to 19,891. I started in Digibyte in 2017 with $500 from a credit card. I started with debt. I started with nothing, and I built my position over time. So I think anyone can make it. It's just a steep learning curve.
I'm just having a quick look on Twitter here. I'm not very good with Twitter. So I've seen one tweet here.
Make sure you guys tag us so it's easy to find your tweets.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also, guys, we're not seeing any tweets shared in the main chat. Let me see if I can. Let me see if they're getting blocked.
Hey, they can also, they could tweet it out, and then they could just put their tweet inside the stream.
Exactly, right? That's what we want. So make a tweet and copy and paste it into the stream, because I'm not seeing any tweets here. Maybe it's blocked. Let's do a quick test. Maybe
we didn't plan this. This is very spontaneous. So
yeah, heads up next time would be nice, Wolverine. I should have known. I should have known he likes to give away money on live streams.
Hey, I did give people a heads up. I went on Twitter and said, "Hey, sometimes whales will show up like unannounced on a stream, and they might give away money." That was my hint. If you were paying attention, well, you stand a chance to at least be a winner.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any tweets come up here in the live chat.
Can't you just click on the hashtag and see who's posted in the last?
Yeah, let's have a look at that. Let's do that.
Some of them have didn't put the hashtag.
Yeah, well, that doesn't help. Gunther, are you going to the Tampa meetup or too far?
I may or may not appear.
You're one of those guys, man. I hate that shit.
Very cryptic.
I'm seeing some tweets.
You may or may not see me there. Maybe.
So I've done a hashtag PulseBitcoin in a Twitter search, and I've got the Simon Burnett has posted 12 seconds ago. PulseBitcoin mining is blue collar crypto. Amen. Sony PLS, all you need is PLSB. We see you there. Aries, he's got one there 2 minutes ago. We got Floppin 22. I'm in PulseBitcoin because of the similarity to Bitcoin, but in a new fashion that shows for DeFi, and being early is always a chance to make it big. We've got another entry here from Ben Hilton. You can mine PulseBitcoin while you sleep, eat, and shit. Okay. ASIC Capital, 1,000 Bitcoin giveaway. Thank you, sir. Drew, one of our admins. Thank you for your post there. Pulse Bitcoin, Pulse Doctor. Thank you for yours. So yeah, we're starting to get some entries here. Shin, thank you. I'm a long-term holder, period. AJ, I really like Pulse Bitcoin for many reasons, but mostly I love how it breaks the barrier of entry for new onboards. That's so correct, sir. Hexbean, to the moon. 1,000 PLSB to win. Yeah, so we're starting to get these entries come in. How do we select one? That's the question. How do we select one?
That's going to be you guys.
I like this.
I'm not selecting the winner. I don't want anyone to accuse me of showing favoritism.
I tell Zombie Miner, I think you should. I don't really want to pick it myself because I feel like,
Zombie,
I don't want to pick it either. Why don't you just do an eeny, meeny, miny, mo, man? That's super random, right?
Hey, tried to get someone that hasn't won anything before in the past.
Yeah.
That would be good.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go off stream for a second. I'm gonna try and find someone. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Take your time. There's no rush.
We'll hold it down in here.
Yeah.
I just did a post too there for you, Wolverine.
Oh, hell yeah! Thanks, buddy. I'll have to go back. I'll have to go back and like and retweet all these like.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get bombed. Twitter bombed. That was something we actually talked about today on the voice chat. How we can get more influencers that are not in Hex or this community to start talking about us. And one thing I noticed, the whole Twitter bombing different influencers, and then the whole community just following up with that, like, yeah, you got to have this guy on the show. But we couldn't figure out who we want to send out. So I read what you're putting down with, hey, we won't always be here forever. I get it, man. There's been a lot of pressure on your back, and I just want to say thank you, because it really takes that one guy to kind of get the wheels moving. Yeah. And you definitely took the lead in that. And I want to say thanks, because you helped us get into a lot of different places, and now it's kind of up to the rest of us to take it the rest of the way. So we got to find that one or two people that are great on camera that we can start just, hounding different influencers to get those guys on stream, Yeah.
It has been my pleasure. I would love to stick around, but the thing is that life is short, and
as for sure.
Knows, and especially you just have want to spend more time with like family members or like reconnect. And so that's been really on my mind lately. And we don't have to. This is the beautiful thing of it. It does not reliant on any person. Like, it's just users interacting with trustless code, and we have a huge community base now, and so everyone can just pitch in and do their part and make it flourish. If you want it to be successful, you got to put in the work, whatever that is, whatever that work looks like. You might be good on Facebook, or might be good on Twitter, or maybe you're that guy that's like good at just producing stickers and putting them in places, or whatever, whatever's whatever works for you, or whatever you're good at.
Absolutely. The way that I've kind of got it was, once you've achieved certain success in your life, you start getting followers that look up to you to try to, achieve those successes. And so I make sure in all my posts, I always mention the crypto that I'm working with, because, everyone can see you're making money at your real job and stuff, but you gotta mention some other investments too.
Yeah.
But crypto's been a big part of my life for sure.
It has changed my life in a dramatic way, and actually gave
Bro,
me
I
fun.
know it. Listen, I listened to you tell the story one time of you standing on a giant pole wiring stuff, almost falling to your death. We do a lot for money, and there's certain things that are just not good for humans, for sure.
No, I took some huge risks working on wind turbines at 300 feet at a dangerous wind farm in Texas. That was 13 years old. And man, you see nose cones falling off, and you just know, if you were in that nose cone, it's a certain death. You see just mechanical shit breaking apart and fucking exploding everywhere, drive shafts that move really, really fucking fast. That if you're up tower when something like that happens, it's just bad, right? So, but I took these big risks because I wanted to change my life and have life on my terms. And part of having life on my terms is freedom of time. I think that's what people don't realize, is that you could do work, and even for work that's somewhat fulfilling, but if you have to slave away in some type of survival mode, just constantly grinding, and you might find that you get to the end of your life and you're like, oh shit, it's over, and it's fast. It's like a dream. It's like a dream in the night, and you wake up, oh shit, now I'm 40 years old, or whatever, or 50 or 60 or 70 or whatever. So time is the most important element. So you really, people got to solve the money problem. You got to gain freedom of your time.
Yeah, man, passive income is where it's at. I mean, I slave away every day for my businesses, and could I be that business owner that just goes home early every day? Yeah, I have enough staff that could keep it going. But at the end of the day, the minute you kind of step away from that, things start to fail. And so there's nothing like passive income that you don't have to tell it what to do. It just does the same thing over and over. It's the best employee ever.
Yeah, ASIC and PulseBitcoin pair is genius. It's hey, here's my work for the month. Start miner and miner.
Yeah, exactly.
And boom, fat stacks of cash just flowing into the wallet. And so much.
Where else can you get that yield with such little work?
Yeah, it's crazy, and I don't think people realize how much money. It doesn't matter what the price is right now. They don't realize how much money we're making, because even though these assets don't have much value now, it's not always going to be the case. What if PulseBitcoin doesn't always trade at $1? What if it starts trading at $10 because people hit the buy button? What if it starts trading at $100 or $1,000 or $10,000, or has price equilibrium with actual Bitcoin? What if? These are what if statements. And the way that you prepare for that what if scenario is you accumulate. You buy ASIC and you mine it. You mine PulseBitcoin into existence, or you just market buy PulseBitcoin. You just got just cash is flowing in on a regular basis, and you just hold it. You hold those assets.
For sure. I mean,
most whatever, it's an asset.
Most large companies at the end of the year are making probably around 20% net profit, and that's good, right?
Yeah.
10 to 20% net profit is what most large companies will make that have a lot of staff and other stuff. So I mean, to make the yield that we're making right now by doing the little amount of work that we're doing, realistically, the only work we have to do is just talk about it. That's the real work. Just talk about it. You know, how hard is that?
It's so easy too. If you go out to a restaurant, sit down, and just leave like a business card on the table of Pulse Bitcoin. It's so easy. Or even a lot of times, I'm just like, it's like so effortless. Like I'm just like at Starbucks, like chatting with somebody that maybe I know that because they see me coming in on a regular basis, and next thing you know, I'm like, hey, you should check out pulsebitcoin.com. You should look into this.
Or you just go. Have you set your MetaMask up yet? That's a key thing you can just talk to people about. Don't even tell them about Bitcoin necessarily or Pulse Bitcoin. They know about Bitcoin, but just you have those conversations. You tell them. So they hear about crypto. What's the first thing these people say to you? They say, "Oh, I heard that market's getting wrecked. So I heard there was a lot of bad stuff." And you kind of go, "Well, yeah, for 97% of the participants that think they're in crypto, but they're not really in crypto. The 3% of us in DeFi are in crypto." So you tell them about that. You go, set up a centralized exchange. You help them through it. Set up a MetaMask. Get in touch with me when you set that MetaMask up, and then I'll send you some Pulse Bitcoin. Don't talk about ASIC mining. It's too much. Just they understand Bitcoin and they understand what it did. They can understand why this is better, and it will outperform it. So we're not outperform.
I just tell people it's a money printer. It's like easy way to say it. You don't even have to talk about mining or anything complicated. Like I was in this Mexican restaurant close to like where I live, and they're all like Hispanic speaking and everything. And I just said like, hey man, I gave him like the Pulse Bitcoin card and just basically just said like, like here's how you make like a lot of money, And I try to say it in my broken Spanish or whatever, but like it's so simple. And it's not like complicated. You just got to give people the steps on how to get started. Like I onboard people that don't speak English as their native language. It's like they barely know any English, and I onboard them into these assets. People from Venezuela or people from the Dominican Republic or whatever. They are mining Pulse Bitcoin right now, and nobody knows that. I just onboard them like in person, like one-on-one. I'll sit down with them for like 2 hours. I don't charge a single penny, not one fucking penny ever. I just give them the information for free because there's no. I've already solved the money problem for myself, but there's no real like happiness or like gratification if you only have made money for yourself. You don't care about anyone else. Well, that sucks. That really sucks because that's like a Scrooge type of lifestyle, and you won't be happy. But if you just start giving information away to people for free and it changes their life, man, that's a very rewarding feeling. Like that's how you should be. I think it's a very fulfilling life.
100%.
So
100%.
I think.
Do we have a winner?
I think I found a winner, and it's so difficult. Okay. So I randomly clicked on about 20 tweets. I'm not picking the best tweet. I found a few people, and I'm going for people below 500 followers. And then to qualify, I had to check, have you been shilling this shit for the last few months? And I picked someone random. I had about 5 in the pack, and I drew one random person. And the winner is Douglas E. Soso.
My name's familiar. Who's that?
Congratulations. Yeah. I recognize Doug. There we go, Doug.
Yeah,
post your ETH address in the chat so that I can send the NFT directly to you.
Well, what I'd say is, just maybe DM one of us or something so we can verify it, so it's not a random person in the YouTube.
So
I'm gonna put share the screen.
Send us the address and we'll do it live.
Yeah.
Proof of payment.
So congratulations to you, sir. You've been shilling this stuff hard. You've been sharing the tweets. You've been doing your part, and this is what the community rewards. We really love it.
I like it. We reward the work ethic. I like it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me quickly pop that up on the screen. I'll quickly show just to show everyone this is not a fake thing. This is the gentleman here, Douglas E. Soso, 121 followers. As you can see, he's been liking and supporting us the whole way through. So there you are. Congratulations, sir. You are the winner.
Hell
Congratulations.
yeah. I like it. Let me get I'm trying to pick an image for this NFT.
Yeah, so if you're live, please DM me or Wolverine or Zombie, and we'll get that money over to you, buddy. Well done. Now you better not sell that. I think you're getting an NFT. Is that right?
It's a 1,000-day NFT. He can sell in 1,000 days if he wants to.
That's not better. That's not $1,000 now. That's potentially
life-changing.
Well, you know, 2 years. How many days is that? 1,000. So you're talking top of the bull market, right? So who knows what that might be? We've seen shit coins do 100x. We've seen trash do 100x in a bull run. So this may be a powerful giveaway. Here we are. I've got a message from. Oh, is this from him? Yes, I've got the address from him now. I'm going to copy it into the main chat. Douglas, I hope you've triple checked that address before I post it. Congratulations to you, sir. I've got the address here. Douglas, if you just want to confirm with me with a yes in the private messages that you're 100% sure that is your token address, because I know you're probably excited and you may have mistyped a letter. I've done it before.
Man, just think you're getting 1,000 Pulse Bitcoin locked for 1,000 days. Wow. What if the price is like $100? That's $100,000.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
$1,000. It's $1 million. That'd be baller. We don't know what the price is going to be. This is not a forward-looking statement.
I'm just gonna give him another 30 seconds to double check his ETH address.
Okay. Hey, can you put his ETH address in the private chat? That way I can copy and paste it and create the NFT.
And while we verify that, we're going to play a quick advert because we love adverts here and we want to drive the message home. Which one are we going to play here? Let's go for this one.
In a cold bear market,
Take care.
an innovation arises.
For the fighters and the climbers. For those that want and choose to believe. Don't worry about the things you can't control. Focus on the things that you can. Immutable code is all you need.
Pulse Bitcoin. Faster, non-polluting, energy efficient, highly scalable, and DeFi compatible.
Welcome to your destiny, basic miner.
And it looks like we ran into some technical issues. Okay, so and just one more thing to say. Douglas has not sold a single PLSB, so I'm even happier now that he's the winner of this prize.
Hell yeah! Hey, what's the address? I can't create
in the private chat. It's in the private chat.
Private chat. Okay. Ending in 7E58. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. And he has confirmed that is his address.
Hell yeah! Let's do this.
Yeah, sorry to the guys that may be disappointed you didn't win, but as you say, you know, it's hard to pick a winner in these situations. We tried to pick someone that hasn't got a large following. But thank you so much for all of you that retweet everything and really put the hard work in. It's so appreciated. Thank you, all of you that are subscribed. We've seen the numbers pump up there. So, and there'll be another giveaway when we're in Tampa. So that'll be exciting. So participate in that. And obviously, I just want to wish Pepe the best of health. He couldn't make it today because of health issues. So, and we've had some other admins with health issues. So I just want to say, anyone that's struggling right now, we appreciate the time and effort you put into it. Life is hard. We do have our challenges, but as a community, we will move forward. And let's look forward to this bull market. Let's have some fun. Let's build each other up. Let's encourage things. Let's be positive. Let's not let the negativity get us down. We're on the up and up. So let's just draw people in with our positivity and let's be the most generous cryptocurrency space around. I think that's really encouraging. Oh, Zombie's got kicked out. Let me bring him back in. I think it's because your mic was your girlfriend wants you to leave, Wolverine.
You're muted. You're muted, buddy.
It's probably better that way. That's my
yeah.
That's my daughter.
Oh, it's your daughter.
Yeah. She brought me a nice meal. So thank you.
Awesome.
Nice. So how are we looking, Wolverine? Do you want to share screen, or are you okay? Or do you want to do it anonymously?
Give me 1 second, and then I'll share the transaction. Give me a second.
Yeah. So JB, thank you for posting, man. We see you a lot in the Telegram chat. It's good to see you on stream. More PulseBitcoin merchandise needs to be seen online in various settings. I agree with that. I think we're in the early days. As I said, we're in the first YouTube channel now, and I think you know what's going to happen in a year's time when we start to pump. When this token really kicks off and these multiple tokens really kick off, we'll start to see content producers start popping up everywhere. And if you are interested in producing content, I think we've got Sugar's Use. We've got a few other people that produce content here and there. Come on stream. You can DM me anytime. Come on stream. Try it out. See how you feel on camera. And you can have a slot on this channel, or you can do your own thing. We're going to start to do these YouTube shorts. So let's say you just want to have something fun. Let's say you don't want to be on camera for a long format. Maybe you just want to do a quick 5-minute or 2-minute video, which you feel passionate about, or a point you want to say. Send it to me, or maybe you want to clip something from one of these videos. Send it to me, and we'll put it on the main channel. We really don't want to start breaking this stuff down. Put it into short format stuff on YouTube. Put it on TikTok. Put it on Instagram. So yeah, if you're interested in kind of doing more and getting involved, you could become an admin. There's so many things you can do, and it's really appreciated. And it's the best way to pump your bags. Be an active investor, not an inactive investor.
One of the biggest, I'm just working on the transaction in the background, but one of the biggest reasons that made Hex so successful in its early days is that you had streamers that just came on out of nowhere and just started promoting the asset. And it helped it to go viral, and you could see the price performance on the chart.
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to ASIC Capital as well. You were the runner-up, and a few other people were as well. It's just thank you so much for Sony as well, sharing this stuff. It's so appreciated. And we're really going to break the mold by being the most active cryptocurrency, the most passionate cryptocurrency. That's why PulseDoge did so well. It was such a simple messaging tool, which we all just devoted ourselves to pumping. And this is how stuff sells, guys. Nothing sells from sitting on your couch, no expectation from the work of others. And that doesn't mean just from Hex Info being a developer. That means so much more. Yolumi, I've had a lot of people asking me to post all the videos on the channel. I'm happy to do that. But at the same time, even though people did enter it to Wolverine for the competition, I still don't have copyright over that. So I am DMing people like Pulse Doctor. I did DM him the other day. He didn't respond, to ask him if I could upload it on the channel. But I'm happy to do that. Happy to do that. So if you have a video suggestion, just DM me. What we're trying to do now, I should mention this actually. On Telegram, we have the main chat, but we also have a PulseBitcoin marketing chat. So if any of you guys want to grab any short clips, anything up to a minute, please post. You maybe want to put some music over it or some image over it. It may be one of my rants, one of Pepe's rants, one of Wolverine's rants. Clip it, have some fun with it. Post it into the marketing channel. If one of the admins want to post that now, the marketing channel, pop it in there, and then everyone can use that. I'll put it up on this channel for shorts. We got some guys starting, let's say, the other Instagram stuff. So we can just start pumping that stuff out in short form. So that's how you can really affect price. And as I say, look at the liquidity pools. It doesn't take much at all. Wait for some of this Hex money to start flowing back in, and we'll be going crazy.
And guys, back to the social media thing. So like Facebook, the reason I like it, and Gunther kind of touched on a little bit, is that it's people you actually know, right? You're using your real name on there. And when you're talking about what helped make you successful to people that actually know you, you're more likely to get them to kind of, come on board than a complete stranger that has a weird handle. You know, like I really like Facebook over some of the other social medias for onboarding for sure. It's very easy. Just go in the group and just click invite to like absolutely everyone possible in your friends there.
Do you want to share that link in the main chat there?
The problem is I'm using my phone, Sammy. So if I go off of StreamYard, it freezes me.
So we've got if someone can please go onto Facebook and share the Facebook group. We've got some really good onboarding there going on, and that is run by Zombie Miner. We are looking for admins. We're looking for people that can get involved.
Yeah, I mean it's active for the most part. Like every day, there's posts going on and stuff. So I'd like more conversations on there, but that just comes with more community members.
And also, if anyone's got anyone that they want to invite onto this stream outside of the space, I'm always happy to talk to anyone. You know what I'd love to get an OG Bitcoiner in. That's what we really want, but they won't come here because they know they'll get destroyed.
Well, so I think Sammy, we were talking about that on voice chat today, like Twitter bombing different influencers that are like friendly. You know, you don't want the maxis, right? But like there was the crypto kindness guy I think we were talking about.
Yes.
Right. And there's a bunch of others. Joe Paris is another one that I've been communicating with. He's definitely got his eyes on it, and I know he owns some, but he just really hasn't been talking much about it lately. So I think if we show him that the community is large and it will help his numbers, you're going to get a lot more out of him for sure. But that goes for everyone. I mean,
I'll go onto any channel, you know, and I'll talk about it. If I'm not large enough, you can ask Wolverine, but I'm sure between us, we're happy to get out there and talk to people, aren't we, Wolverine?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Hey, Sammy, can you click on the second link in the private chat?
Yes,
that's
I'll do that right now.
An image of the NFT that was just created.
So here we are, guys. This is an OpenSea. You can all look at it. It exists. I've shown you the winner on Twitter,
and you can even see owned by Dougie Soso. 1,000 Pulse Bitcoin locked for 1,000 days.
So how do we see that?
Right
there.
Right there.
So congratulations, buddy. Exciting stuff. I love the image as well.
Yeah, what is that, Gunther? Like, what's that from? They're wearing 70s attire? Is that what that is?
I don't know. Somebody created this image, and I just grabbed it and just.
I like it.
Someone's got people are loving these videos. I mean, I like the videos too. It is fun. We got so many good. Do you know? I want to find the one where we had with the African dance.
Hey, I got that. I can find that quickly for you. Give me one second.
Send that to me because we got so much content, guys. This is what is going to get us exposure, guys. But breaking it down into sizable pieces and spreading it over multiple formats. This is how we go viral.
You can play directly from the last tweet in the private chat.
Okay, we'll do that. I'm sure this is the right one. Let me check the right one.
Yeah, that's the right one.
Let me know if you can hear it.
Wish you heard about Bitcoin in its early days. Missed buying Bitcoin in its early days. Do you wish to have such an opportunity again? Regrets no more. Introducing PulseBitcoin.
PulseBitcoin is a new MetaBitcoin on the Etherium network. Don't miss an opportunity to get involved. Bitcoin designed to be a reliable cryptocurrency, faster and more secure, not polluting, energy efficient, DeFi compatible. PulseBitcoin offers super transaction, faster transaction, including eco-friendly. Buy your PulseBitcoin, 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 buy your PulseBitcoin.
Cool, man. Love seeing that from other countries, man.
Yeah.
No need for expensive mining hardware.
I love that accent as well.
Yeah, it's from Nigeria.
Yeah.
No founder one. Zero inflation bonds. Food audited. Faster transactions. Highly secure. The future of Bitcoin is here. Visit usdc.plsb.com today and buy up by changing generational wealth. Don't miss out. Buy your mortgage, buy your mortgage, buy your mortgage, buy your mortgage.
Yeah, so big shout out to NC Joshua for that. Thank you so much. Really cool. Really cool. But guys, I think that about wraps it up. Unless anyone else wants to cover anything, we've done 2 hours on the dot now. We'll be live next week.
Supposed to be 30 minutes.
I know. We'll be live next week from Florida. I'll be filming the first day, day one. We'll get the pool party. I'll be walking around doing some gonzo filming. We'll have some interviews. We're gonna have some fun. It'll be a less structured kind of format, but we'll be there. You can ask questions. But yeah, apart from that, thank you so much. I think we're going to a bit of a pump phase. So pack your bags. We're ready for liftoff, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, don't listen to the FUD. Just hold on for dear life. The market will reward you. The market will reward you. Be patient.
Have conviction in your investments.
Just buy $1 of Pulse Bitcoin, guys.
Yeah.
$1.
One Pulse Bitcoin, and lock it for 10 years. See how it does. It's $1.04 investment.
All right, guys, that wraps it up. Let's go. See you next week in Florida.
Less money at their disposal.
The latest on inflation's
Life is hard, with rising inflation and a soaring cost of living. Bitcoin was a way to escape this, but now Bitcoin is dying. When Bitcoin started, you could use a laptop to mine it with just a few clicks. Now, Bitcoin has been hijacked by big money, making it impossible for the average user to make life-changing wealth. It's slow, it's outdated, and expensive. The world needs a better Bitcoin. The future is here, and the future is Pulse Bitcoin. Faster, more secure, non-polluting, and DeFi compatible. Old Bitcoin mining requires expensive mining rigs and costly energy bills, making it almost pointless. With Pulse Bitcoin, you can software mine by staking your ASIC tokens, utilizing proof-of-stake technology on the Ethereum network. It's so easy to participate. Simply buy the ASIC token on Uniswap, then go to pulsebitcoin.app and set them to mine for 30 days. You'll earn 7.5% of the token amount in Pulse Bitcoin every 30 days. Don't want to mine? Easy. Simply buy Pulse Bitcoin on the open market and hold it as a powerful store of value. You are so early. This ecosystem is packed with tokenomics designed to drive the price up. Pay your future self by participating in the most aggressive, price-appreciating ecosystem in existence. A decentralized peer-to-peer Bitcoin, the way crypto was always meant to be. Go to pulsebitcoin.com. It's time for a better Bitcoin. It's time to make life-changing wealth.